tonight with Inside Unmanned Systems. We are here at the AUVSI show in Houston, and I'm talking with Chris Fleming of Cyberhawk. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you taking the time to chat.
You're most welcome, and my pleasure to be here.
Yeah, so I guess can you talk a little bit about what you're highlighting here at the show and what you've been talking about with the folks visiting your booth?
Sure. So Cyberhawk is a drone service provider primarily, but what we're focusing on here is telling people about our software platform iHawk, which allows people who gather huge amounts of data to have a repository for all of that visual data and then make decisions about what to do next with the issues that they find. So typically energy companies, utility companies that gather huge quantities of images or LiDAR data, they don't have a great way of sorting it, saving it, or drawing out those insights from the information. And iHawk is our software platform that people like Shell, for instance, use globally to get access to that information.
Very good. Can you talk a bit more about the problem that you're helping customers solve and what you're making possible that wouldn't be possible without it?
Yeah. So I guess there are lots of enterprise management solutions for helping companies do things better, but there's not a great solution out there for visual data, for imagery, which is typically huge amounts of data, difficult to move, difficult to sort.
Sure.
And so for us, what we're doing is for companies that start to scale beyond sort of proof of concepts and start gathering millions of images of hundreds of thousands of things in the field, then they have a problem about how do we, what do we do next? Who do we coordinate with to make decisions about how to repair things? And so what we've provided is a very easy to use solution that doesn't require a lot of training. It doesn't matter what you do. If you can use Google Earth, Google Street View, you can use iHawk. And so we're just making that easier for people to get a sort of workflow going with their drone information.
Very cool. So I guess what is the biggest challenge you see ahead for autonomous and unmanned systems, and how are you preparing for that?
I think the biggest challenge for us right now is that either our customers or the regulators, in some cases, are sort of forcing people off DJI products at a time when there really isn't a huge amount of choice out there.
Sure.
In terms of what you're going to adopt next. So like most drone service providers, we're 90% of the drones that we use are DJI. And now our customers are saying, okay, you've got a period of time, we want to move off Chinese technology for the reasons we understand. So we operate at scale. We have something like 100 pilots probably flying in the field on a daily basis, and transforming that workflow onto different platforms is going to be a challenge. So that's one of the reasons we're here, is to work out who's developing platforms that can compete with the same level of autonomy as DJI and sense and avoid, but also at a price point that we can afford, because we don't want to charge our customers any more money than we charge them right now. So that's a big challenge.
Sure, absolutely. So I guess where do you see the biggest opportunities for growth coming in the next year to 2 years?
Right. Well, so we focus primarily on the energy space. So we're working with energy companies or utility companies. And for us, that's a huge untapped vertical. I think we're probably only scratching the surface in terms of the number of assets that we inspect on a yearly basis. So, we're really into that journey. And for us, it's how do we scale with programs in the future without the bottlenecks of moving that data around, either gathering it from the field, bringing it back, taking it in the cloud, and then sharing that information with our clients. So it's about debottling all of the systems to make it seamless so that we can get the information sooner and allow people to make decisions in near real time.
Yeah.
That's the challenge for us.
Good. So for anyone watching this video or visiting your booth this week, what are the main takeaways, message you'd want them to go away with about Cyberhawk?
It's such a fast evolving ecosystem, and you can't relax. You can't.
That's true.
You've got to keep your eye on the technology. It's constantly evolving, and I think what we're seeing now, which really excites me, is we're seeing, not just single hardware manufacturers producing devices, we're seeing an ecosystem kind of evolve where different partners are developing different parts of the ecosystem, and it's allowing people to almost plug and play and bring things together for their own use case. And I think that's really exciting for our industry, rather than relying on a few key manufacturers who want to own the entire drone ecosystem.
Sure.
We're seeing smaller companies who are probably a little bit more nimble and who are more prepared to strategize with companies like us and say, okay, what are you trying to achieve and how can we do this together? Rather than you need to buy our tool and it's a closed ecosystem and we're not going to let you into it. So
Right.
I think that's really exciting, and hopefully it means that it allows people to scale faster, and allows some of the smaller companies to be more successful. So hopefully we're going to be one of those people in the ecosystem that allows this industry to scale for the future, and that's what I'm most excited about. The things that are going to help us is if the FAA can allow people to fly beyond visual line of sight.
Yes,
So that's a big kind of regulator, if you like, on our industry. The technology exists. We can fly beyond visual line of sight safely. We can do it, and I understand why the FAA is cautious about people doing that. But our industry is extremely safe if you compare it to any other. Compare it to manned aviation. It's proven to be far safer, and so that's a real key in terms of unlocking the potential. And it means that we can charge less and we can do more with less. So that's what I'm really excited about.
Yeah. Hopefully that's all coming very soon.
Hopefully, yeah. We're all excited about that.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate you taking the time to chat. It was great chatting with you. And for more from the show, please visit InsideUnmannedSystems.com.